Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is AkeiraSays. Hope you are doing well today. Today is going to be another chit chat type of video. Hope you guys enjoyed my last video, which was my get to know me tag. So today I am going to talk about living with anxiety. So why am I making this video? Because I live with anxiety, and one way that I have found is, for me, a good way to cope with that is to talk about it. Because a lot of times we are dealing with certain things that we feel like nobody else understands or nobody else is dealing with. But I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of people who deal with this, and for me it helps just to be more open about it and to just talk about it, and to relate to other people in that way. I wrote down a bunch of notes for this video like a couple days ago, and I think I left my book at work. I'm so upset with myself, so I'm going to try to do this off the top of my head, because if I don't do it today, then it'll be a whole nother week that I don't film this video. So hopefully I say everything that I want to say. If not, then I'll just make a part 2. So let's start with, I think only my best friend and my boyfriend actually know that I actually do have anxiety, an anxiety disorder. I was diagnosed, I think, maybe about a year ago officially. I do take medication to cope with that, or to treat that, or the symptoms of, because it never really goes away. But I do take medication. I was diagnosed by a doctor and prescribed medication for it. I have seen a therapist as well. And it's a lot better now than it was when I did go to the doctor. Taking it back, I think I've suffered from anxiety probably my whole life. I just didn't know what it was. It was the worst probably in high school, going into undergrad, and then in grad school. And when I went to grad school, that was when I was like, okay, I got to figure out what the hell this is so that I can get it under control. Anxiety for me is really like just a really nervous feeling, overthinking a lot, just having like a negative voice in my head, telling me, you're not good enough. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Don't talk about that because you're going to say something stupid, or don't say hi to this person. Even people that I've known for a long period of time, periodically time.
Get out here and wait a long periodically time. The buses are nasty. The buses are filthy. The buses is not new.
For a long period of time, like I would see them in public or something, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, should I say hi to them? What if I sound stupid? What if they don't want me to speak to them? And it's just like, I always have this like negative person or whatever it is like speaking to me, and especially in like social situations as well. Like I was just really nervous, and I would shake sometimes and get like that nervous sweat, and it could be like with people, like with family, people that I don't know, like it didn't really matter. And this like made it really hard for me to make a lot of friends, just because for me it's like just nervousness and anxiety, but to other people it comes off as me being standoffish or me being stuck up or not wanting to talk to people. And I can see how from the outside it looks like that, but from the inside it's just like pushing myself to be more social was like really nerve-wracking to me, and it was something that was just happening inside of me, and I didn't know what that was. So after seeing a therapist and a doctor and just kind of talking about like how I felt in certain situations, it was like, yeah, you have anxiety. So, and after I was diagnosed, it's been a lot easier to talk about it and to kind of recognize when I feel it coming on, so that I can do other things to cope with it, to try to keep it more at bay than it to get out of hand and me have a freaking panic attack. So one of the number one things that caused me to actually go seek treatment for anxiety or to figure out what was going on with me was insomnia. I was having trouble sleeping for a long time, waking up at 2 and 3 in the morning, like in a panic sometimes, just being really scared, thinking about death a lot, thinking that I was going to drop dead at any moment, thinking that my family was in trouble, like always worrying about myself and my life and my family being safe for no apparent reason, just always overthinking and being worried, like to the point of tears sometimes, of something happening to me or to my family, just out of nowhere, just having those really negative, like impending doom, quote unquote, thoughts, and just being really worried and overthinking a lot about people that I cared about, being out in public thinking something bad is going to happen, being in a car thinking something terrible is about to happen, just feeling those feelings of, just negative, something like is about to happen to me or to my family, and it was causing me not to be able to sleep at night, and just having a lot of trouble relaxing. Telling me, you're not good enough. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Don't talk about that because you're going to say something stupid, or don't say hi to this person. Even people that I've known for a long period of time, periodically time, for a long period of time, like I would see them in public or something and I was like, oh my gosh, should I say hi to them? What if I sound stupid? What if they don't want me to speak to them? And it's just like, I always have this like negative person or whatever it is like speaking to me, and especially in like social situations as well. Like I was just really nervous and I would shake sometimes and get like that nervous sweat, and it could be like with people, like with family, people that I don't know, like it didn't really matter, and this like made it really hard for me to make a lot of friends, just because for me, it's like just nervousness and anxiety, but to other people, it comes off as me being standoffish or me being stuck up or not wanting to talk to people. And I can see how from the outside it looks like that, but from the inside, it's just like pushing myself to be more social was like really nerve-wracking to me. And it was something that was just happening inside of me, and I didn't know what that was. So after seeing a therapist and a doctor and just kind of talking about like how I felt in certain situations, it was like, yeah, you have anxiety. So, and after I was diagnosed, it's been a lot easier to talk about it and to kind of recognize when I feel it coming on, so that I can do other things to cope with it, to try to keep it more at bay than it to get out of hand and me have a freaking panic attack. So me going to therapy, back when I was in undergrad, like nowadays, like therapy and mental health is like a huge conversation, but back then, like high school, college, it wasn't really that like talked about. So it was like, I didn't really know. Growing up, a lot of people like thought, oh, she's shy, or she doesn't, she's just really quiet. And I am kind of a quiet, reserved person sometimes. But it's not just me being shy or just being quiet. Like there was something internally happening to me, like where I get, around people and my heart start beating fast and I start sweating, and it's like I don't know what to say, or they don't want to hear what you have to say, or you're gonna sound dumb if you try to express your opinion, and you're not good enough to do that. And it would get to the point where it was like I overthink so much and I stress myself out so much that it makes me not want to do anything at all, because I feel like, it's just like overthinking and just this really nervous feeling. And other than me just wanting to kind of talk about it to cope with it better and just to be more open about it, I've said throughout the years, and I mentioned before that it was like difficult for me to make friends and to like be more sociable because of the feelings that I was having that I didn't know how to explain at the time. And now that I'm 29 and I'm going on 30, I feel that absence of lack of community. I know I said in my last video that, you know, I do have a couple friends, like good friends that, you know, I love, and we talk, you know, pretty often and everything. But I do have the desire for community, for more friends. I'm not with the no new friends movement or whatever. Like, I feel that absence in my life of people that not just I can just hang out with and just talk to, but just people, like a circle. I don't really have a circle of people. I have my family, of course, and my couple of friends, but I definitely feel that lack of people in my life. And I think this is like one of the first steps in doing that, is just talking about, you know, something that I deal with, just for me, just to say, okay, it's out there, people know, I can talk about it, you know, I can express that, and I could, you know, it would give me more confidence to be more social and to connect with more people and not be so, and not let anxiety affect me in that way, you know, all the time. Because I know I keep going back and forth because I'm trying to like remember my notes in my head. But just growing up, like, it was just really crippling. Like, so many things that I wanted to say that I like my body just would not let me say. And so many people that I wanted to connect with that I didn't know what to say, or I felt like if I did say something that it, like, I don't know. It's just, if you don't have anxiety, you don't understand. But if you do, like, you understand. Like, it's like this thing speaking to you all the time, like telling you not to do something because it's not worth it, because you're not gonna succeed at it, or you're not good enough for it. So this is one of the things that I'm doing to help, is being more open again. And also I do other things, like I said, now that I've been diagnosed with it and I've like read more about it, and heard stories from other people, I can kind of feel like, okay, I'm about to be in a situation. I can feel my anxiety ramping up. Like I said, I do take medication for it. And I like do deep breathing. I journal, you know, write out my thoughts sometimes. And those are things that really help me, like coping with it, as well as just talking positively to myself. Like, when I feel those negative thoughts come in, I like immediately counter it with a positive thought, like out loud about myself. People probably see me and like, girl, talking to yourself, whatever. Sometimes I have to talk to myself to like, okay, girl, that's not real. That's anxiety talking to you. Counter it with a positive thought and keep going about my day. It's not perfect. Like, it's still something that I struggle with sometimes, like caring too much about what people think, which is something that I, you know, work on every single day. Like, girl, this is your life. Live your life. Do what you want to do. And you know, I'm better at it. I'm better, still working on it. Y'all, I need my notes. I had a part of my life that anxiety really affected, I think I mentioned before, is when I was in college. I just think back and I just, you know, I had a great time in college, don't get me wrong, in undergrad. But there were so many other things that I wanted to do that I wish I would have done. So many other people that I wish I would have connected with and stayed connected with. And anxiety kind of had a hold on me, man. Like, it caused me to, like I said, people to feel like I was standoffish, like I didn't want to talk to people. You know, I heard people like saying, oh, I don't like her, she's stuck up, da da da. And that wasn't the case at all. I had friends like freshman, sophomore year that I'm kind of like not friends with or kind of associates with, because I just had things going on in my life where it kind of caused me to be distant towards certain people. And yeah, it just makes me feel like I wish I would have known what it was then, so that I could have gotten a hold of it then, so that, you know, hindsight is 2020. It's like, dang, if I would have known what it was, and I could have, you know, gotten treatment for it or whatever, and, you know, had a different experience. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a regret, because I mean, I didn't know. If you don't know, you know, you don't know. But it is something that it's like, dang, what if I would have known what that was before? So yeah, and then going into graduate school, it was 2016. Y'all know the political climate in 2016. I went to a very liberal arts school for graduate school. I was one of the oldest in that grad program. I was in a all-white town, like Trump supporters galore. And like, when I tell y'all, culture shock is not the word. Like, my anxiety ramped up so bad, and I feel like I might have been a little depressed. Like, I went to class and I went home, got in the bed, and did it all over again the next day. Like, I was just so like, ugh, I'm ready to get out of here. And that is actually the first time that I actually went to a therapist, was when I was in grad school, because I was just like, I don't want to be here. Not like life, but I don't want to be here in this town. I want to go home. I want to go back to be around some black people. I can't do this Trump thing. Like, it was ridiculous. So I don't know exactly where it comes from. I don't know if something happened in my childhood where I felt like I wasn't listened to, or I don't know. I haven't really been able to pinpoint it. I just know what it is and how it affects me, and I'm just doing whatever I can to cope with it and to make it better. It's a lot better now than it was. I am more able to, you know, speak out and talk to people, introduce myself to people. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like I said, like, mental health is such a like huge conversation right now, especially in the black community. Because y'all know, black people, you grow up, you don't need no therapist, you need to pray. You don't need no medication, you need Jesus. You don't need this, you don't need that. You're not depressed. You don't have nothing to be depressed about. You don't have anxiety, you don't got nothing to be scared of. Like, black people, we know. But now that I'm older, and it's like a big conversation now, and I work in mental health, like, I get it now, and people are like more open to it, especially people my age. People are more open to it now, and now it's like, okay, this is what it is. It's okay to talk to somebody about this. A lot of people suffer from these things. People haven't talked about it always, but a lot of people are dealing with this. You're not the only one. Talk about it, because there's somebody out there that may not be in your position, that may not be at the point where they want to talk about it or feel like they can talk about it. And they might see your video and be like, wow, this girl is going through this too. I had no idea. Let me talk about what I go through. Let me go talk to somebody. Let me go see if I need to be on some medication. Prayer is great, if that's what you believe. Whatever, whoever you pray to. Wonderful. But praying without action is pointless. Again, I just wanted to make this video. I probably said this 5,000 times already, just to be open about something that I go through, that I know a lot of other people go through. Something that, you know, I wanted to do something that is therapeutic for me, that helps me cope, to hopefully help somebody else cope. If you are suffering from any type of anxiety, depression, any type of just not feeling like yourself, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to talk to a professional. Don't be afraid to explore whether or not you should have medication for it. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in standing in your truth and being who you are, especially my Black people. Like, there's no shame in it. You can do both. You can have religion and speak to mental health professionals. And that goes for everybody. Hopefully this video helps somebody. Thank y'all for watching and listening to me rant and ramble. And hopefully you learned a little bit more about me. Please like, share, and subscribe this. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next